Hi, this is Kavita with Aligned and Soulful Leadership. And today I wanted to talk to you about finding your voice. And I find like it's ironic that my voice is starting to feel blocked when I'm starting to talk about this. Um, so as a leader, especially if you're a woman and you are multicultural, come from an immigrant background, there are some layers that can block you from finding your voice. So finding your voice is showing up and saying what you need to say in the moment and not holding yourself back, right? So that doesn't mean you're rude or to other people or disrespectful. It is just saying your truth and saying what you think. For instance, that could be contributing in a meeting, or it could be saying what you truly believe about something in a gathering. So there are many ways that we can find our voice, or just actually when we're writing something or expressing ourselves even through our dress, like that can also be your voice, right? So there's so many ways that you can express yourself through finding your voice. And some of the blocks that I've seen with my clients have come up for many different reasons, right? And so the blocks can come up to finding your voice because of past experiences. So now that's not unique to just women of color, right? People have past experiences that can prevent them from using their voice because they're afraid of the consequences or what's going to happen because something happened in the past. And so they're afraid that's going to happen again. So that's one of the overarching reasons that people may find their voices blocked, or they're afraid to express themselves, right? Another reason is that you may have been taught culturally that it's not appropriate for you to speak up. And so I know that this is something that I've had to work with myself, and I've had clients come to me with, is because it's not, maybe they came from families where they were taught as women, they were not supposed to speak up. Like it was not becoming of them to say what they thought. And, I know I've heard things like, well, who's going to want to be with you? Who's going to want to marry you? People don't like women like that. That's not a good girl. Like, so there's all these messages that you may have been given in your family, right? That have to do with what's okay and what's culturally okay, right? And when is it okay to speak up? Okay. And as a woman, especially, right? And so then we take those experiences and we take what is okay and we put that into different situations, right? So maybe when you're in a situation where you're with your family and your culture, that you're okay with not using your voice to the level. The issues come and the challenges come when you really want to be able to use your voice, like in a place of work or in your business, right? And you want to be a leader and you're not able to fully express yourself because of that block. And so what I'm telling you is that really look at that, really look at what in the past and what you've been taught as is okay, right? And so our brain just takes that information and then applies it to more than one scenario. Another reason might be because there's a safety. Okay. For some people, it is not safe for them to speak up. And when they have spoken up, there are dire consequences. And when they use their voice and they express themselves, um, it impacts not only them, but maybe even people in their family. Right. So, there's that sense of like, if I speak up, and is that going to be safe? Am I going to be okay? And that could be that could be related to actual experiences or fear of that happening, or things that happen to people around you. And it often is not applicable to where you are right now and where the situation is or the scenario, right? So again, we take those past experiences and then we put that in the same scenario. Okay. So those are just some reasons that I see people's expression and voices blocked. And one other reason that I wanted to share today was that there's too much pressure on you. Okay. So it can be that the pressure to succeed and the pressure to prove your worth and the pressure to be successful and not fail is so intense that you just forget what you're going to say. You're not able to express yourself fully. And then that brings up the fear. And, you disconnect from that part of your brain, the logical part, that the one that helps you express yourself because you're in a high emotional state, right? And so, it reminds me of a story of one of my clients who, we were talking about, she gets blocked when certain people are around her, like in the proverbial room, right? And as we were talking, it became clear that there's this sense of that since she's single, right? She's a single mother. She's concerned that if she doesn't have her job, then she would become dependent, and not be able to provide for her family. And so that puts a lot of pressure. And as we were talking further, right, through the coaching session, it also became clear that she was given the message by her mother, which she meant really well, to tell her that I don't ever want you to depend on anyone, especially your partner, right? Because that was a situation that her mother was in, and she did not feel powerful. And she wanted her daughter to feel powerful. She wanted her to be able to make her decisions and to not be in that place where, she felt like she didn't have choices. Okay. And so that was what her mother was trying to teach her, right? And wanting to empower her. And then here she is in this situation where she has the opportunity to speak up and she has the opportunity to express herself, and she gets blocked because of that intense pressure and so much fear of becoming what, this, in being in that situation that her mother is in, or and has been in, right? So that is like the other side of this. So when you're feeling that expressive block, when you're feeling that, like, right here, and you can't really say what you're thinking, or you're afraid to say what you're thinking, there's more to it than just do it, especially when you have these multi-layer, multicultural situations and you've had these experiences. So I really want to encourage you to look at that at a deeper level, which is the work I do with my clients. And so, if this can help you start to really uncover that for yourself so that you can show up differently, then I'm doing my job here. This is why I decided to do this video. So my plan for you is to come to you a couple times a month with some really valuable tips and strategies to help you step into your leadership as a woman of color. And so if you have some topics that you want me to talk about, or challenges, you can send me a private message, or you can even comment on this video, and I'd love to hear from you. So until the next time, this is Kavita Milwani with Aligned and Soulful Leadership. Until then, take good care. Bye.